How's it going, everyone? Hey, Durgaraz, say it.
Hey, what's up, Cam?
Hey, Wayne, what's up? Hey, Mike.
GM.
GM. We just announced our Crypto Security 101 together with Revoke. We're going to be doing some a sort of webinar for 1 hour crash course on security, personal security for crypto. So make sure to sign up. Would be pretty cool. It's gonna happen in 2 weeks, I believe.
Yeah, about 2 weeks.
Yeah. Tuesday in 2 weeks. Shout out to Roscoe from Revoke. He's gonna be leading it with all his experience. Anyone here uses Revoke Cash, actually? I think I've used it once, but long ago, so I'm curious to see how it evolved.
And they just do an integration with MetaMask Portfolio.
No way. Oh, that's super cool.
Yeah, I believe
I didn't
MetaMask
know that.
Portfolio, they have an integration with Revoke.cash now.
Nice. That's cool. Yeah, super useful tool. And of course, they know all the latest about scams that keep evolving. So, yeah, if you can give some love to that post, would be appreciated. Also, thank you, Wayne, for the link to the Farcaster post. Please help us spread the word, especially if you have friends who are relatively new to the space. I think this is super important. So make sure they participate. Farcaster, did you see that Farcaster is going to be renamed? Well, Warpcast is going to be renamed to Farcaster. I think they announced it a few weeks ago, but I had to see the confirmation to actually believe it. All right.
Sorry, I just caught the tail bit of that, Nico. So they're renaming the protocol to match the platform. Is that what's going on?
The other way around. They're renaming the client, like the app, the Warpcast app, to Farcaster.
Yeah, well, I think
What
it's very
happened?
confusing the way they have it set up now anyway, so.
Yeah.
What happened to the other clients? There was like Supercast or something like that. Do they
Yeah,
still exist?
I think they acquired them all. So yeah, it seems that they changed the strategy a little bit. I think they wanted to have client diversity before, and now they acqui-hired a bunch of these client builders, and they're focusing um, on Warcast or like now Firecaster app. But yeah. Do you use it a lot? Share your profiles here if you wanna. I'll follow you. Maybe I'm not sure I follow you all. Stonky, I don't think I follow you.
No, I don't. I'm not really active. I used to
Okay.
when I just started. I had some. I've been in touch with some like OGs of. Well, they became OGs, but back then we were all just like to know what we were trying to do, to be honest. And some of us succeed, and some of us just like dropped, like me. Yeah, but I think it's really cool what you can do with frames for sure. But yeah, I'm not a developer, so I really didn't find myself a place back then where I could be useful and where I could use WordCast a lot. So I kind of like stopped using it, but would be good to come back, I guess.
Yeah, to be honest, I also had like a, I don't know, volatile relationship with it. Like I was on not super early, but you know, I think before the degen airdrop, and then short after, then it became too spammy, so I left it, and now I started to be active again. It's as you say, like with the frames they evolved to, they call them mini apps. It's super cool. There's really a lot of cool ones. Like I have my daily, how do you call it, crosswords in English, like
Yeah.
yeah, like this thing every morning that I do through a mini app. So it's pretty cool.
I have a friend who builds. I actually became a friend with this guy for Farcaster. He's building job board. So basically, every job post is a frame. It's called Interested FYI, and it's used by quite some good clients, like good development companies, good protocols. So that was an interesting use case, and I'm happy that someone started. So I'm recruiter by profession, and I really excited to see some use cases that would be applicable for Web3 recruitment. But there's not much of them, to be honest. So yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, indeed. I think there's some stuff that you cannot do in like X that can potentially make Firecaster great. So let's see. And you said you're not dev, but I've seen a lot of like no-code tools to build frames, and a lot of people who are not technical who just use these to build. Sorry, not frames, mini apps. So I want to give them a go also soon. Need some ideas.
That's actually cool, because I was thinking about building a learning bot. We've met at IFDAM. Sophia is here, by the way.
Oh, right, of course. Yeah. Now I was like, I recognize his voice, but
maybe I can put on the camera. It's fine. So
yeah.
I because of the privacy, it's like it's an interesting topic that I didn't really explore deeply. I kind of like know from the news or something very like just top of the iceberg, basically. I really wanted to dig deep into the history and like prominent people that are building digital freedom, etc. And I thought about building a privacy learning bot, but with ChatGPT and Telegram, essentially, and that through Telegram, I would get the notifications say, hey, today is this article you have to read. And then I would just go to, I don't know, Wikipedia or whatever, or news channel or something. But I'm not a dev, so byte coding is really hard for me, to be honest. But I'm trying my best. And maybe I should actually do it in frames and just like in frames read an article or so. Like ChatGPT would extract the article for me and just put it in one frame or something. It's called mini apps, you said, right? Not frames anymore.
Yeah. I'm also used to calling them frames. But that sounds cool. I would definitely use it, and now seems to be the time where a lot of these are getting attention, and Dan Romero is sharing them and stuff. So give it a go.
Yeah. I have to...
Yeah, William, which no-code apps? Let me check. I got one saved the other day. I can't remember the name. Let me look for it. I can't find it. Oh yeah, I know. This actually is built by someone who built a client before, and I don't know, like now it's not a client anymore, I guess. Or it is. But let's see. It's called Vibes.engineering. A vibe code mini apps.
What a name.
Right? It's actually super cool. I need to try it out. But there you go.
Thanks. Cool stuff.
You're
I'm gonna take a
welcome.
look.
Yeah, should be cool. I also want to experiment a little bit. There was one recently that was like, I don't know, I think based on what you casted before, like it would assign you to one of the Harry Potter houses, stuff like that. So I think went viral yesterday or the day before. So maybe something like that for Octant would be cool. With the Dungeons and Dragons theme, maybe. Cool. So yeah, I don't think there's many updates. We had a couple of articles launched. Let me share them as well. I hope if you haven't seen them, you read them. I think they're super cool. There's one that is super long, like that goes super deep into what we're building with Octant v2. So let me share it here. And the other one is about Ethereum alignment. The other article, we call Octant the funding layer of Ethereum alignment, at least like this part that's called the ESF, the Ethereum Sustainability Fund. It's one of the key building parts of Octant v2, so make sure to check them out. Or maybe if you have read them already, if you have any questions or comments, now is the time.
I didn't read them yet, but I was wondering, so you post directly on X. Why did you decide to post articles on X and not, I don't know, using Mirror XYZ or Paragraph or those kind of tools?
Yeah, that's a good question. This was Mashal. Unfortunately, she's not here. Because we do also have like a blog kind of on Octant, but I don't know, maybe Wayne or Sarah, do you know why she made that decision?
It was mainly a reach, like a reach thing, you know. That's the main reason for that. Because at the moment X is like promoting these articles, so if you put it out, then you know the algorithm promotes it and puts it front and center. For this main reason. And also lots of people don't want to go off X and go to the blog, and I think more people will read this and check it out on X like that.
Yeah.
So
Sophia, do you use, because I heard that Mirror is kind of not maintained anymore, or like not being developed anymore. Paragraph, I think maybe differently, but do you use it a lot?
Yeah, no, I'm starting my blog actually. I want to write on Web3 hiring. And my first article is going to be about if you're a founder, you just found your company, how are you going to hire, basically. So I'm wondering where I can put this blog post, and I think I would go for paragraph. And also I just had a call with Women in Web3 Privacy Initiative, and they're also posting their updates on paragraph. It's apparently a new tool, and it's I think I'm not sure if the information is like there is something about decentralization with paragraph. I'm not sure what exactly. But it's kind of like built for Web3 writing. And I believe you can collect the same way as you do with Mirror. You can collect the articles as an NFT and just keep them in your collection, basically. But yeah, I need to look more into that.
Yeah, I think either Paragraph bought Mirror or Mirror bought Paragraph, something like that. But yeah, I think it's kind of like similar use case. Like maybe it's hosted in or like the articles are saved on IPFS or Arweave or one of those, and you can collect them. Because I cannot think of anything else that you would be able to do on chain, to be honest.
Yeah, you're right. Mirror sells to Paragraph, pivots to social app called Kiosk. I'm gonna send an article in the. Okay, sorry, I went off topic completely, but go ahead.
No, it's good. It's good. Like Town Hall is super chill. Just talk about everything and anything.
There was a question: could the article be posted on LinkedIn too? Yes, but as a Web3 founder, do you spend a lot of time on LinkedIn? I don't think so. You usually spend time on X and Discord and all these platforms. So I hate LinkedIn myself, but I have to be there as a recruiter, which sucks. But yeah, I will definitely repost it to LinkedIn, but I think I will host it on Paragraph. I know that also on Paragraph you can buy. I'm considering that. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue with blogging, but for now it's going to be two different domains. But you can buy for 50 euros for forever, for your entire life, a custom domain, so that your website is not going to be paragraph.xyz/your surname, your name, your handle, but you can connect it to, let's say, your website/blog or something like that. And I think because I'm not a programmer, I have only a landing page of my recruiting activities and stuff. So I don't know how to make this landing page/blog yet. I'm not yet there. It's the next level. So I was thinking to maybe make it simpler and just buy a domain so that I can just connect them to without actually being hosted in the same place. I don't know if it makes sense what I just explained. I'm sorry for people who are technical who didn't get what I was telling.
Yeah, maybe someone can help you out
Thanks.
with the requirements. Yeah, but we actually just saw that we did post them on LinkedIn as well. But of course, like they don't get almost any traction. Yeah, very different audiences.
But also, would you consider, maybe it's a very long article. I'm not sure if I'm going to be very honest with you, if I'm going to be ever reading that. I'll probably put it in ChatGPT and ask for explanation. Would you consider writing shorter threads and just like TLDR kind of thing?
Yeah, indeed. That's kind of like, so that article is more like a white paper-ish, light paper-ish kind of thing. So it's like super dense and like even boring to read. And we're doing this series of blog posts, for example, the one about the funding layer of Ethereum alignment, that kind of like break down this bigger article into like smaller, more digestible pieces that are a little bit more fun to read as well. So yeah, would recommend to check those out. Like we only have one of these digests posted yet, but they're coming out pretty much every week. So would definitely recommend to read those.
Okay.
From what I
Sounds
found,
cool.
the best way to get exposure on LinkedIn for Web3 is to join a community that's already established on that, right? There's a ton of them. If you just search for blockchain, there's a ton of groups on LinkedIn. But if you're trying
Oh,
to do it
interesting.
from your personal account or from an individual account, it's going to be tough unless you have a solid network.
Why is it tough, Will?
Well, I mean, think about it. When most of us started building our LinkedIn profiles, we probably weren't in Web3, right? So a lot of those people are not going to be tapped into the conversation. But if you join a group, and there's a ton of them out there right now on LinkedIn, then that's where you're going to get the most traction.
Nice, that's a cool tip. And can you post from a company account in those groups, or is it only individuals
If you,
that can post
I
them?
believe so. I don't know. See, we here's why we don't have a company account on LinkedIn for KF Media, because we tried to set up a business account on LinkedIn, and in that process, they wrote us back and told us we violated their T's and C's, but they didn't tell us exactly what term or condition we violated. So we're like, okay, fine. I'll keep my personal LinkedIn account maintained. If I need to use it for Web3, I will. And from a business strategy perspective, we'll just go the Web3 route for social media. So
Yeah, makes sense. That's weird. Yeah, it's this centralized companies just ban you for whatever reason.
right, they don't have to give you a reason necessarily. Question came up in the Green Pill Dev Guild community or monthly call yesterday around Epoch 8. Do you guys have any more details or strategies or potential dates that we're looking at for that?
Yeah, great question. For dates, we don't have like the specific dates yet, but we do have the topic, and it's gonna be Ethereum, kind of like we're gonna Epoch 8 and 9, we're gonna be focusing a lot on kind of if you read the Ethereum alignment blog post, there is some hints of like how Epoch 8 and 9 are gonna look like, and it's gonna be indeed like very Ethereum alignment focused. Like we're trying to find dependencies and like some projects that help Ethereum exist or grow in any way, excluding L2s, of course. But yeah, like I think applications will open the next week or two, and the allocation window should be somewhere in July.
Yeah, it says 56 days.
Yeah, indeed. So yeah, that's.
So is that going to tie into
July.
the Ethereum localism narrative as well, or just like Ethereum mainnet core, like what the EF supports, those types of initiatives?
Good question, actually. I can bring this into the conversation actually, because what would you maybe for everyone and also for me to catch up a bit, like what is Ethereum localism and how, you know, what kind of things do you think would need funding related to Ethereum localism?
So you're asking me that question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
Well,
anyone who has.
I mean, the way I understand it, Ethereum localism is this mindset that was spawned probably by Vitalik and distributed through Kevin Owocki, right? But it's about more or less the age-old adage of starting local, but thinking global, right? So kind of like if you're familiar, and I'm sure you are, and most people in here are, if you're familiar with how the Green Pill chapters are set up and how they operate, or how the ReFi DAO Global is set up with all the ReFi DAO local nodes, right? It's giving these localized communities access to the global resources, to that global network of resources, right? So it's very similar in that premise, but leveraging blockchain technology in the distribution of those resources as well. So that's just a very basic understanding that I have of it. If anybody has any deeper understanding, they want to expand on that, by all means. But yeah.
Yeah, interesting. So what kind of tools do you think would fit into that narrative? Because
Well,
I
I
would
know
imagine.
that Green Pill Network is building their own toolkit for developers specifically. And I know Refi DAO is building their own toolkit, and it's all fitting into this narrative on the common approach, right? And there is going to be a workshop here coming up, I believe, in a couple weeks towards the end of the month about the common approach. What is the common approach? What's the methodology behind it? So I can get more information for next week's town hall on that if anyone's interested.
Yeah, please do. That sounds super interesting. And if you have any links that you can share in the group chat now, or like here in the
Okay,
chat.
I wanted permission first because sometimes
Of
Discord you
course.
can't share links. So I'll see if I can find a link for that event for sure.
Yeah, try to. I see Sophia managed to send a link, and you should be able to. Please do. This is super interesting, especially like the toolkits. I think that would definitely fit into the Ethereum round. That's my personal opinion, though. Like, I still need to consult it with the team. But I would personally love to see more of these initiatives getting funding. So please share information, then I can forward it to the team and bring it to the discussion. And yeah, so you said the Green Pill Dev and Refi DAO are both working on two different things. Like, are they working on sort of like the same thing, or are they? What are the features, kind of?
You know, that's a great question. The exercise for Green Pill Dev Guild just kind of started yesterday, and they started it with like a Miro board, right? And then tying all these concepts together, and then tying them to the resources to support them and things like that. I feel that Refi DAO tying back into the regen coordination, because the regen coordination network is the one that's pretty much developing this toolkit, right? But it's to give the premise behind it is give localized leaders this toolkit of resources that they can tap into, right? Is the way that I understand it. So let me see here. I got this link here. I'm gonna see how I can share it from my computer. I'm on my mobile here on the town hall. Let's see if I can access the town hall chat on my computer. Stand by.
Nice, thanks, Will. I appreciate it. Let's see. Let me know if you cannot share it. Ethereum localism, funding local self-sustainable resilient communities with deep energy and mobile connectivity, as well as syntropic farming. All connected globally via ETH, and all avenues are revenue generating streams. Okay, cool. I like that. I like that. Oh, and good tips about unstoppable domains as well. Glad it's useful. Thanks for sharing, William.
I have a quick question. So during your presentation at Octant, you said that you're looking for contributors. Can you tell a little bit more in which direction you want your contributors to move? And yeah, just a little bit more information, which help you need at the moment.
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks for the question, and thanks for coming to the talk again. So right now, the focus that we're early with the protocol development and V2 is try to onboard as many projects that want to use the protocol to fund their growth through their ecosystem, basically. So yeah, there's really, like no size limit of what kind of projects can join Octant V2. We'd love to engage in any chats with anybody who kind of has a treasury and is willing to put put it to work for them with DeFi, and that way fund their ecosystem. So I think that's the more immediate goal. Like if you can help with any intros with these projects or help us identify which projects could potentially be interesting. If you don't have contact with them but come across them, like if you share them with us, that's already massive help. And then later on, and unfortunately, we brought someone who's going to help us with the DevRel activities. He's coming next week to give an intro, but we're also looking to create a community of builders relatively soon. So the protocol is launching in kind of Q3, and for that, we want to start building a community of developers that help us either integrating DeFi strategies or allocation mechanisms. And the other kind of type of contributors that we will be looking for is kind of DeFi strategists who know about DeFi and can help us identify like good yield generating strategies, I would say. And anybody who's willing to help us kind of get in front of these projects with a treasury that can fund their activities through Octant, through the Octant protocol. That's all those things are super helpful. Is there any area where you'd be interested in contributing, Sophia?
I'm wondering if you have a pitch deck or some information in written that would be useful for companies that are willing to collaborate with Octant to kind of like know what is useful, what can be fruitful for them as a cooperation, because it's not really clear for me how they can benefit from working with you guys. Maybe because I didn't research Octant myself, and sorry about that. But I feel that if you have something in written and I can access it, I would. I think my main where I can help you right now is going to be search for the companies, either search for them or think about the companies that I'm already in touch with in the free space. You said DeFi is preferred, right? Or not necessarily?
Not necessarily. It can be in any field. The DeFi part is more for integrating their strategies. Yeah, exactly, the yield generation. So we're not excluding anybody.
Mm-hmm. Is this the link to Notion that you just sent?
Yeah, indeed. I just sent this one pager that we have. This is what we sent to the different projects to understand what we're building with the Octant protocol. Basically, what I talked about at Islam, that it's a sort of ecosystem growth engine. I think it's a good kind of introductory one pager, but once they have more questions, happy to. You can direct them to me, or probably to me, and I'm gonna forward their connection to James, who might join in a bit, who's been dealing like all the business development efforts with us.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah, of course.
I was wondering if you're really looking at only Web3 communities at the moment, or if you're looking at other foundations outside that might want to get into Web3. Perhaps they want to purchase a big bag of ETH and stake it through Octant or another token, or create their own.
Yeah, that's super interesting question. We haven't really approached anybody outside of Web3 just yet, but that doesn't mean that's interesting. Like, if they're open to having part of their treasury or their reserves on chain, then we're more than happy to help them, to even onboard them to Web3 and kind of guide them through the process of minting. Like, it can be stable coins, right? doesn't necessarily need to be ETH. So if they are not comfortable with the risk, with the volatility that crypto brings in, like we're happy to help them put their money in stable coins and use the Octant protocol. Do you have anyone in mind who could potentially be interested,
Would have
Tony?
quite a few actually, because one of the big things that they always run into is something that I think Octant has done a good job of solving, and that is finding the people to give the money to. Like how you know, the operations of being able to start a program that allows people to come in. Who are we giving the money to? Why? What does the community think about these things? And then be able to distribute that money that they have. And I mean, there are a lot of foundations sitting on, they're dragons, you know, they're sitting on a absolute mountain of cash and don't really have an adequate way of distributing it. I mean, I don't think that they're going to take the whole mountain of cash and put it into something as speculative as crypto at the moment, and as insecure, you know, as feeling, because they're foundations and they're nervous about all that stuff. But, you know, $1 million here, $1 million there isn't that much to these guys to possibly develop a new system, especially when there's no risk involved, really, because it's built on a resilient system of you're only, you know, spending your rewards.
Yeah, that's indeed, that sounds super interesting to us. I think if you can identify the ones that are like the more willing to experiment with this, happy to get connected and get on a conversation with James to see how we can support them best. But this is awesome, man. Like, thank you for thinking about that. And yeah, of course, if this is a way to onboard more projects into Web3, I think that's a massive win for everyone.
Absolutely. I think we've all been waiting for a way to be able to get more people involved, you know, on that level in a safe way. You know, it's taken a while for the industry to mature enough that there is this possibility that Octant's now developed, really. That's stable,
Yeah,
secure, and been proven. You know what I mean?
indeed. And actually, now that you mention it, there is a Web2 foundation that we are talking with that that is interested. I don't want to kind of name them until we kind of close the deal with them, not to jinx it, but I wasn't thinking about them because they've already been done a bunch of things in Web3, even with Gitcoin and stuff. So maybe those are some clues. But I think that, you know, now thinking about it, if we can close that one, get them to use Octant, it can be a good example of how like a traditional Web2 organization foundation is using it. So yeah, good thinking, Tony. Thanks. Nice. And are there any other questions or comments? In the meantime, let me share the space that we have later. If you want to learn a little bit more, together with some of our grantees for the Community Growth Fund. It's gonna be fun. I don't know if you follow any of these. Like Queen Wartooth is super fun to follow on X, for example. Like I think it's gonna be a very fun conversation, and yeah, make sure to check it out. Put it in the background of the space. Will be fun. Oh, what happened with the music actually?
Maybe that I muted it?
No.
Or did I mute it for myself?
Yeah, you probably muted it for yourself, so don't worry about it. It's something with the bot here.
I have to jump. I have another call, but it was super cool to meet you all. And I'm gonna take a look at all those documents. I saved them, so I'll reach out to you if I have any ideas in mind.
Awesome, Sophia. I really appreciate it, and thank you so much for dropping by.
Thank you, Nico,
Looking
for
forward.
invitation. Yeah,
Bye.
cool. Have a great upcoming weekend, you all.
You too. Have a good one.
Bye.
Good luck in your call. Bye bye.
Thanks. Bye. Oh, I actually would like to get the you got the link. I got it for X space. So I'll get I'm
Yeah,
leaving. Bye bye.
nice. There you go. Thank you,
Bye.
Sophia. Have a good one. Bye bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye bye. We need more dragons. Yes, sir. Oh yeah. Maybe we can play Bard's Tale. This is the link, Tony. Cool. To wrap it up, let's play it, and once it's done, we can close it if there are no more questions. Yeah. Let's see. Bard's Tale. This fits more like the Dragon's Den type of music, but it's super fun. Oh yeah, pizza party. Also, I'm gonna go to the one in Amsterdam. I don't know if anyone is dropping by. So, are there pizza parties at the cities where you're at? Are you going? Would be cool to do. I don't know. It might be around the same. Here in Amsterdam, it's gonna be around the same time as our town hall, I believe, roughly. So maybe I'm gonna do it from there.
And Nico, where are you going? Said this is your last bit of time in Amsterdam.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm gonna be in Berlin in June for Berlin Blockchain Week. I'm gonna stay there for a bit, and then July and
What
August
days?
I'm still
What
deciding.
days in Berlin? Sorry.
I'm gonna be there probably around the 7th of June until the end of June.
Okay, so you'll
Are
be
you
there.
gonna be there?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Oh, nice, cool. Will be cool to meet you in person.
I think we've met in person actually.
Oh man, I can't remember. But if you say so, I believe you. I'm so bad with connecting voices and faces. Like Sophia, the girl who was just here, like I literally met her on the weekend. I knew I recognized her voice, but I couldn't see it was her. But yeah, looking forward, man.
Well, and then what are you going to nomad for a little bit, or you have a new destination?
Yeah, I'm gonna be nomading for the rest of the year, basically. Like July and August, probably stay somewhere here in Europe or Mexico, still to decide. So Renee might drop by, and then September, October, November in Buenos Aires, most likely for the
Yeah.
pop-up cities before Dev Connect.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah. Are you all going to Dev Connect to Buenos Aires? You done?
I'm not planning to. No,
Sad.
unfortunately, it's too much, too far. I got family. Can't be going
Yeah.
all the time. Can't be going all the time. I want to see the
No.
kids.
Yeah. Of course. Hopefully soon you can bring them with you, and then it won't be a problem anymore.
I will
Nice.
say this, dude. My son actually does have a robot in the classroom for him now. He's been sick for a little while, so they set up a robot in the classroom, so he attends class through robot.
No way. That's cool.
Seriously, like we're going to go out to the lake and sit at the lake for a while, and he's going to be going to school at the lake. The robot.
Nice.
Things are
That's
happening.
funny. That's crazy.
It is.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super cool. Nice, Renee. See you in Buenos Aires. All right. Thank you all for coming. I think we can wrap it up here, and I will see you in the space. Let me share the link one more time. It's happening in a bit less than 2 hours from now. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. See you there. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, cheers.
Bye. Thanks.